already know.
Oh, okay. What's it called then, bro?
It's called
Grills on Main Street. 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 Grills on Main Street.
What's up, Stacking Smith?
what up, fam?
Hey, bro. I heard y'all got a new store opening up.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Where's that?
100 North Main.
Okay, y'all gonna be doing grills in there?
You already know.
Oh, okay. What's it called then, bro?
It's called
Grills on Main Street. 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 Grills on Main Street.
What's up, Stacking Smith?
Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Peanut, aka the CEO of Dash Resource LLC, man. I got my man Stacking Smith ain't here. You know what I mean? Ahava Elyon. Whatever he going by today, man. He got 100 nicknames. Every time I turn around, he changed his name again. Now, mind you, he changed his name for the actual election that went around, right? Because we had LaRonda Jackson, we had Angelina Jackson. So it went from Peanut Jackson.
You Peanut Jackson.
And then he was Ahava Jackson, Jason Jackson. So we were the Jackson 5 for the election, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Angelina Jackson, man, you know what I'm saying? Salute from the Legendary People podcast, man. But let's go ahead and run through some of these sponsors real quick before we get into this legendary interview, man. You know what I'm saying? We want to say, first of all, you ain't cool if you don't go to that school, man. Shout out to Dayton High School, Horizon Science Academy. You know what I'm saying? You ain't cool if you don't go to that school. Of course, if you were injured in an accident, contact attorney Michael Wright. We got a whole slew of other things, man. But we about to get into after we talk about QR wine, man. QR wine is one of the greatest drinks you could ever have in your life, bro. The other day I had a party, you feel me? And I had 2 bottles of QR wine, bro. I left for a minute, came back, bottles of wine was gone. I thought a magician showed up at my crib, bro. I don't know how they came up missing, but somehow them bottles came up missing, right? But shout out to QR Wine, my man Big. You get it at more for less. Big. For sure, man. But we got a legendary interview. Before we do that, we want to get into the viral question of the moment, man, which is RIP Takeoff, man. Like, what is your take on Takeoff dying, you know, in Houston? And, you know, because you're on the artist management side of things now. What would you say to up-and-coming artists when it comes to viewing this from your lens?
One, it was sad that it happened.
Absolutely.
You got to watch your surroundings.
Sir.
You can't be doing the same things that you've always done when you get to a certain level. Because even though you're keeping it real, everybody around you ain't keeping it real.
Right.
So you got to... That's what I would tell any artist, you know, watch your surroundings, watch who you're around, listen. Because some of those smiles and laughs and them jokes, they actually telling you the truth. You know, it ain't no just ha, 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 and everybody like, no, you got to listen to them because it be some, you know, hidden messages in a lot of that.
Right.
So they need to take heed to that.
Right. So speaking of hidden messages, I mean, you know, every time a celebrity dies, they turn into this whole Illuminati thing. They start doing numerology. They can come up with all these different, you know, different deflection points on the tragedy, right? I think a lot of people are just hurt and they just want to find some reason on how something could happen in a terrible manner. Have you ever had to deal with an artist being untimely dying while they was under your management?
I had an artist that I was working with a long time ago. He passed away unexpectedly.
What was his name, your mind?
You know what? It was been so long.
Yeah.
You know, not trying to. His name was Aaron. That's what his name was. He was a singer, and he was walking. He had left a party in Trotwood, and he was walking back. And you know where Speedway and everything is behind the Taste.
Yeah.
He fell into the water back there. And with him being intoxicated, when he fell, there wasn't nobody around to help him or anything. The water wasn't that deep,
Right.
but he drowned.
Oh man. Wow.
Yeah.
So with some of the conspiracy theorists, they say, you know, that the artist management had things to do with it, right? But to me, being the capitalist I am, right? I'm not saying I would capitalize on nobody's murder at all, but I would protect my investment. Same way if, you know, I invest in, you know what I'm saying, my BMW, for example, right? I insure that vehicle with insurance, right? I got gap insurance in case, you know what I'm saying, whatever, right? Do you think it's unethical for a management to put, you know, a life insurance policy on their investment, essentially?
Your job got one on you.
Say that.
So basically, this is a job. You know, they invested money in you. So, God forbid you were to pass away. How are they supposed to recoup their money? Exactly. I mean, yeah, they can make money off of your music that's already out there. Everybody thinks that, you know, oh, he got killed because, you know, when you pass away, you sell more records because everybody wants to listen to your music. The people that wasn't fans, all of a sudden are now fans.
Right.
So everybody thinks that companies are having everybody killed. But in the long run, just like you working at
NCR,
GM or NCR, soon as you sign that paperwork with them saying that you're hired on, they have an insurance policy on you.
Absolutely.
So they're getting paid. So I don't, as a businessman, I don't see nothing wrong with it.
There we go, man.
But you should explain it to the artist because a lot of artists don't understand it.
Right.
And, you know, I'm one of those type of people. I like to explain everything so nobody can come back to me and say, yo, you did digital. No, I told you everything that's going on. So you can't sit there and think I'm trying to, you know, play you, as they say.
For sure, man. So here on the Legendary People podcast, I thank our origins, man. So without further ado, Ronald Blake, where'd you grow up, man?
Why everybody call me Robert, man?
Why
does everybody say
it's
Robert,
about
man?
the Ronald Robert dynamic, bro. I apologize, man. Take a point whenever I mess up, bro. Here you go, man.
Now give me $5. Every time you say something, I'm $5.
I don't carry no
Let's
cash
go.
while they call it checks. Do be sending it
I'm
out.
about to be rich.
So Ronald Blake, man, where'd you grow up at, man?
I grew up in Dayton, off of England. Well, I grew up on England Avenue by Kings Hill Apartments.
Okay.
You know, Gettysburg, Blue Haven, Kings Hill, all of that. I grew up.
So
right
that GVC or that's not considered? Okay. Word.
I grew up with some knuckleheads.
I mean, we already there, so you might well name some of the knuckleheads like you grew up with.
I grew up with the Easleys.
Yeah.
You know,
Namely.
them my people.
Yeah,
you know.
word.
So
My barber, who I've been knowing since real talk preschool. His name Head. You know?
was that Gettysburg days?
Gettysburg.
Gettysburg school.
Gettysburg.
So,
You know.
so Head asked you to ask me one thing while we was here. Right?
Is we finished or is we done?
Nah, we just started, Head. Look, come on, man.
Is we finished or is we done?
For sure. So, what was the neighborhood like? You know what I'm saying, like growing up, like as far as you can remember back.
As far as I can remember back, honestly, straight up, it was fun. You know, everybody's parents, even though they may not knew each other, they knew each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? They go outside, everybody wave at everybody. We all just played on the street. For some reason, everybody played baseball on the side of my house. I don't know why, but for some reason, that our house was the house that they played baseball at.
We can ask Easy. What made his house the designated place to play baseball at?
Well, it was close by apartments, and it was kind of where it was at. You know what I mean? And they had all that room on the side. You know, so we took care of all the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We made use of it.
For sure. So, in your household, you have mom, dad, siblings.
Yeah, I had my mom and dad in the house. You know, rest in peace to my dad.
R.I.P. King.
R.I.P.
I had my two brothers. I had a little sister. And then when we moved out and moved to Trotwood, my two sisters, twins, they came into the picture.
So, at what age did you move out to Trotwood?
16.
Okay, so we ain't got that far yet.
Okay, let's go back there.
Yeah. But I like like you, man. I like you, man. Already, man. Like a lot of people be like, yeah, man. So then I got married. Like, wait a minute, bro. We still talking about early humble beginnings, man.
Right.
Was it a different dynamic you growing up with your father and mother compared to your other people in the neighborhood, or was that kind of like the norm during that time in the neighborhood?
It was a lot of people that had their mom and dad in the house. Some had stepdads. But for the most part, it was, we seen, single moms. We even seen a single dad. So we seen a little bit of everything. So we didn't pay attention to it like that.
Right.
Everybody just, was polite. It was Mr. and Mrs. or Miss or whatever. It wasn't no, she ain't got a husband, or, she ain't, or he ain't married. No, we didn't do none of that back then.
So, like, what's one of your most fondest childhood memories?
Playing in the pits.
Like, so explain. Like, I'm from Westwood, right? So, what does playing in the pits mean?
Right.
Yeah,
The boonies,
Water,
the
if
river.
You go down England Avenue, all the way to the end of England, Blueberry and Blue Haven. There's a wooded area back there. They're kind of tearing it up now, I think. But we used to call that the pits. And we used to go back there, catch frogs, catch snakes, crawdads, all type of stuff.
snakes.
Yeah. Gardeners.
Okay.
Gardener snakes.
Yeah. Okay.
It
Yeah.
was gardener snakes. They wasn't poisonous.
Okay. For sure, man. So, I mean, I'll be remiss not to ask you, like, what's one of your worst childhood memories?
When Alton Coleman was running around. That's when.
Like, paint the picture, yeah. Paint the
When
backdrop.
Alton Coleman was running around, well, that was one of them.
Or Naked Man Jr.
When we got older. But Alton Coleman, they had bars that you may have seen them on some of the houses, bars on your windows. That's one reason why a lot of people put bars on the windows, is because Alton Coleman. They used to think Alton Coleman was going to come through your window and grab you out your house or grab your kids out your house. Right. So back in the days when we was little, I think it was 10 o'clock at night. It may have been 11. Don't get me, I can't remember too much of it. But that's when the news used to say, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are?
Yeah.
That's why that started.
I remember that story.
Because of Alton Coleman. Because they want, do you know where your kids are? So that made people think. So when it started getting dark outside, we could only play under the streetlights.
Yeah.
So that's where.
That's a bar.
Got you.
That's a bar.
Got you.
That's a bar. That's a
so
bar.
that's
like
where
that.
we always, when it kind of started getting dark, everybody would just go around there and they would play until, it was time to go in.
So for the, like for the new people, who was Alton Coleman and why was he a menace?
Alton Coleman was going around killing people, kidnapping and killing people.
And they knew for a fact that it was him.
Yeah, they knew for
And
a
his
fact.
girlfriend,
Him
Deborah
and,
Brown.
Deborah Brown.
Walk us through that whole thing. I mean, it's an integral part of the story.
Well, they were spotted in Dayton. I think, was it Westwood or was it in Greenwich Village?
It was GVC and then McKay Park up in
Okay,
Hilltop
they
area.
were spotted in the area. So people had to keep an eye on everybody's kids. So even if, let's just say for a fact, my mom and daddy didn't like your mom and daddy.
Right.
But yet and still, you're a
Everybody.
child. They're going to look out for you. So everybody was looking out for everybody. That's where the neighborhood watch came in. Everybody knew what time your parents went to work, what time they usually came home. People knew all of this. So with them knowing all of that, it was kind of hard for him to actually, kidnap anybody in our area. But I think he got caught in Indianapolis.
Yep.
If
got
I'm
caught
not,
in Indiana.
If I'm not wrong, I think it was Indianapolis he got caught.
They did.
If I'm wrong, please forgive me. Don't hold me to it, nobody.
Right.
Or if somebody else knows,
Yeah. He got caught somewhere else.
Yeah, he got caught somewhere else.
there you go, right.
But it was everybody
Indianapolis / Gary, Indiana.
Yeah,
They
yep.
ran over into Gary.
Right.
And you got there to go to Gary, Indiana later on. Man, what the all right, whatever. All right, cool. So what was the other worst childhood memory kind of thing?
Oh man. I really don't want to say no names because I don't know where this person is at this time.
Right.
But we had an incident where a group of kids had gotten in trouble in school. And they went over to the little boy's house that told on them. And the girls act like they were going to, sleep with him or do something with him. Little young kid. So he thinking, it's going to be my first experience. They put a bag over his head and sprayed
Roach spray
in the bag and killed him.
and castrated him and put it in the bag in his mouth.
So when
Our
we
neighborhood
found
friends.
out about that, it was like everybody in the neighborhood was looking for an individual. Like I said, I don't know where this person is now. I don't know.
He on death row.
Okay, he's on death row. But I'm still not going to say his name. I'm not going to give somebody that did something like that any platform.
Of course not.
But everybody in the neighborhood was looking for him. Mm-hmm. Literally looking for him. We all literally went out of our house looking to beat his ass. So that was, and that was one of the worst things
That happened in our neighborhood.
that happened in our neighborhood, in our time, for me, at that early age, to have to go through something like that. And back then the news was more graphic than what they are now. They literally told everything. I had a cousin that had got shot by his brother, and before the ambulance got there, Channel 7 or Channel 2 was already there. And they had the camera on my cousin trying to talk to him. He's laying on the ground dying. And they got the camera on him. So, it's censored a lot now to an extent.
Yeah.
But, that type of stuff.
Yeah, I remember back in the day where you know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be some slide doing it. He's like, if you have women and children in a room, remove them away from there.
Exactly.
But and then they're gonna show you everything.
Right, this may be graphic.
Yeah.
This may be graphic, so you may want to remove your kids.
And the kids in there clothing out,
Right, everybody looking like this, trying to figure out what's going on. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
All right. So, what elementary school did you go to?
I went to Gettysburg.
Gettysburg.
Yeah,
Gettysburg.
I went to Gettysburg.
So, do you remember anything from the Gettysburg era of going to school there?
Yeah, I remember my first grade teacher, Miss Wright. I got held back. So my second time in first grade, my teacher's name was Miss Dilly. What was his name? It was a teacher. He took my G.I. Joe men and never gave them back.
Man, do you know how much they worth now?
I know. So you know how much money I could have had, man? I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
But I remember one time I worked at MCL cafeteria, and he came through the line. So when he came up to where I worked at, when he was ordering his vegetables, I said, I ain't giving you nothing.
Right.
So he looked at me like,
What the?
I said, man, I ain't giving you nothing until you give me back my G.I. Joe man.
How old was you at this point?
He was like, Ronald Blake. I was like, yes, it's me. Yeah, I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
I was in my 20s then. But yeah,
Worth
I wanted my man back.
Bro,
Like, come
man,
on.
listen, you got me thinking of
Mr.
a story I did.
Andrews. That's his name, Mr. Andrews.
Yeah, man.
that was.
I had a cousin, man. Now we used to play with our GI Joes, right? And whenever he was violent with them, bro. And whenever he'd break like a leg or something like that, he would walk us out so he could bury my damn GI Joe. I should dig them up. I remember where they was at.
Damn, man.
Yeah, man. I used to cry about them.
Why would he break their legs and arms?
Man, he was my big cousin, man.
He was trying to put that fear of God in.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, so any early childhood influences besides, man, like you told enough of the story already. Any early childhood influences that kind of led into who you are today?
You want me to be honest?
Sure.
Daryl Easley.
Girl, easy.
What?
I used to watch him rap. I used to watch when they was up on Gettysburg at Bullseye Records.
Bullseye, yep.
I used to literally knock on the door and try to get them to let me come in and everything. Nah, little man, you can't come in here right now. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna get y'all one day, you know. But I always watched them, and I was always inspired.
That's hard.
And it's walking distance.
And it was walking distance, you know. All we had to do is go to the, I'm sorry, Nickley's, not the Bollies,
Yeah,
Nickley's,
Nickley's.
and get us some candy. So,
For sure, man. So, what middle school did you go to?
I went to Fairport.
Fairport. So at this time you haven't moved to Trotwood yet, obviously, right?
Nah.
So anything notable from that time at Fairport?
We played basketball. Got into a lot of fights with a lot of people, kid fights, Everybody wanted to fight. For some reason, everybody wanted to fight me. I don't know why. I think it's because I was skinny back then. I was like 99 pounds.
Right.
I don't look it now, but I was like 99 pounds. And for some reason, everybody, Darrell Craft, if you listening, you know.
There you go. Put names on them.
No, that's my dog, though. That's my dog. But yeah, we used to always fight. But it wasn't no, everybody was mad at each other. We just fought. And we were still friends,
Right.
We're still friends to this day. So,
Yeah.
we just had fun back then.
So besides music, were you focused on anything else at that early stage of your life, like middle school? Because that kind of like a pivotal time where, you know what I'm saying, you're about to come into your own a little bit.
I tried to play basketball.
Okay.
I tried to play basketball. I wasn't that good at it. But I tried. Do you remember the coach's name we used to have? Black dude. I think he went to Dunbar after he left Fairport.
Haley.
Oh, yeah, Haley.
Was our
legendary coach.
Yes.
For sure. So, how did the transition to Trotwood happen? Is it you finished school or did it,
Nah,
when high school started?
Going into high school, everybody was going to, when they left Fairport, everybody started going, y'all went to not Louis, what was the school was that? Off of Shoot Mill.
E?
What school was that off of Shoot Mill?
Meadowdale?
Nah, off of Shoot Mill. Going down.
Going down.
A lot of people went there. I forget the name of the school. It was a Girl Scout retreat place.
Oh. He's saying like right over there.
Yeah.
Turner.
It used to be a school right
Turner
there.
Shoot Mill.
When everybody was going there, my mom sent me to Mommy Chapel.
Lowe's.
Yeah. I went to Mommy Chapel.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
I
we
went
all
there
went to
for a couple of
Lowe's.
years.
So like that's what like a Catholic school or something like that.
Mommy Chapel wasn't. It was just called Mommy Chapel.
Okay, yeah.
I think it was because it was on Mommy Chapel Road.
So it wasn't nothing about no chapel
Over by
about
the
it.
baths.
I'm getting into what happened.
Yeah, okay.
So after Mommy Chapel, I went there for I can't remember what grades it was, but went there.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went to Dayton Christian.
Okay.
I went to Dayton Christian for my 9th grade and some of my 10th grade.
So at this point, I'll always ask people like, what kind of music were you into at that point in time of your life?
I was always into hip hop.
Okay.
I loved hip hop, but you got to remember though, we had Rick James, Michael Jackson, Prince, Mary Jane Girls, Vanity Six, Morris Day, and also we had my uncle Keith Harrison.
Keith Harrison.
So
Yeah.
we listened to a lot of. I did. I listened to a lot of his music.
Okay.
And I was inspired by all of that music. But my heart was always rap, because we used to break dance.
Okay.
And, try to get down. So that's how I, learned how to rap, break dancing and listening to the Fat Boys, Curtis Blow, Run DMC, Joski Love, stuff like that.
So was mom and dad kind of hard on you, or what was their approach when it came to like raising you?
My mom was really deep into church. She still is. My dad didn't start going to church with my mom until after we moved. No, right before we moved to Trotwood. My dad wouldn't go to church. He just worked. Mm-hmm. And then one day it just got on his heart that he went to church and he never stopped going until he got to the point where he couldn't get up anymore to go. But he went faithfully. He became a deacon in the church and everything.
What are some of the similarities you have between your mother and your father?
Well, everybody say I look like my dad. I have an uncle that says if he was to turn away from me and close his eyes and listen to me talk, he can imagine my dad. One of my favorite aunts, my dad's aunt, who was my great aunt, she always tells me that I look just like my dad. If I had hair, a Jerry curl,
right,
I look just like him. You know what I mean? and you know, I never thought I really looked that much like my dad. I thought I looked more like my mom. But if you seen a picture of my mom and dad, they look like they could be brother and sister. So that's how, you know, I get that. Right. But I get my mouth, smart alecky ways, and you know, cussing people out, stuff like that. I get that from my dad. You know, my mom, I get the more of the, you know. Sometimes I'll sit down and try to talk it out, you know, including when it comes to my grandkids. You know, that's the mom side of me. You know, I'm more calm and copacetic with them.
Word. So talk about the transition from, you know, out to Trotwood.
I didn't like it.
What was the most glaring thing that like stood out that was the biggest difference from moving from, you know, urban schools?
I know a lot of my friends in Trotwood are gonna be mad, but I'm just gonna say it.
It's your story.
The kids in Trotwood thought they were better than the kids in Dayton.
Yeah.
You know, they thought they had money and they didn't have money. You know what I mean? That was my biggest thing. You know, everybody in Trotwood thought, not everybody. Let me change that. Not everybody. But you had some people and some kids that just thought they was better.
Well, like Trotwood at that point in time, of course, now, I mean, you know, everybody gather around the campfire to hear Uncle Peanut and them talk about it. But Trotwood really was like the black suburbs. You know what I mean? Like if you were from Dayton, you want the bag of Trotwood chick. It was a status symbol back then.
I didn't want to.
Explain why.
I didn't want to.
Elaborate.
I don't want what everybody else wants. You know what I mean? I mean, it's flattering. You know, everybody wants you. But I ain't got time for all of that. Because 9 times out of 10, well, he did this. Why ain't you doing that? And I ain't got time for that. I'd rather just have somebody that people are not, everybody's not chasing, but everybody knows that she's worth chasing.
Valuable, right.
That's the type of woman, or back then too, I wanted. I didn't want somebody that every time she walked in the room, including, you know how we used to lie too. Oh man, I hit that, man. I hit that. Everybody in the room, I hit that, man. You know I hit that. And you like, man, you ain't hitting, but you know, everybody talk. I didn't like that.
Right.
I didn't stay in Trotwood that much.
So like what kind of student were you at Trotwood at like that point in your life?
I mean, like I said, I didn't like it. I didn't really want to be there, but I had to go there. And I'm gonna tell you a story real quick. It was this one time, ain't saying no names, but it was a bunch of people, right? Trotwood and Meadowdale got into a fight.
I know who's part of the story already.
Right. So when they got into this fight, right, I'm standing there. So this one cat said, you know, they called me by my nickname. They was like, why ain't you helping us? I said, man, look, I grew up with y'all. If I fight with y'all, well, let's say if I fight against y'all, if I go with Trotwood and fight y'all, I can't never come back to the hood. But if I fight with y'all, I can't go to school tomorrow.
Right.
So I gotta stand. Hey man, did you ever get your shoe back? So I had to stand
I stood up on the car. I stood up on the car like, who got my motherfucking shoe?
That's exactly what he did.
They bust my mother's car window and everything,
What?
man.
Man,
Yeah, Jimmy
I
hat,
had to sit on the side,
all y'all
bro. I
Clark.
couldn't fight nobody.
But we all cool and we all got love to this day.
I see all
Trotwood against
Meadowdale,
Meadowdale, baby.
man. You know, I'm one of them type people, man. I like telling stories from back in the day,
Yeah.
and it's funny now.
Yeah, well,
they're literally funny because
we survived it.
Right. You know, a lot of us are in our 50s, so it's just fun, man.
Let me piggyback on that.
There we go.
Before Trotwood, you probably don't remember when I first like started hanging with y'all, but Darrell Craft, he like, come on down to the house and all that, you know. Man, you be rapping, man. They like, come on down there. So me and Darrell, after school, we go, and you know, he like, come on, I want you to meet somebody. It was Ron, Fuzzy, and Rob Bill. And then so Fuzzy tall, but like, man, if he can't break dance, he don't need to be around here. So Darrell, they made me damn near break dance on the box just to hang with him.
I want to follow the story, bro. That's what you had to do to hang with a crew back then. You had to be able to.
You had to be able to break dance or rap or something, man. You had to be able to beatbox.
You couldn't do nothing.
You know, Rob was my first rapping partner.
Okay. Yeah, and I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, Rob was my first rapping partner, man.
Yeah.
We had fun. We was in a group called the SAMCs.
And what that stuff for?
Sharp Ass MCs.
Okay.
Yeah.
My uncle, one day, he had just came back from tour, and he wanted to record a rap song. So he said, I want y'all to write to this beat, and I'm going to call the song Put the Fire Out.
Okay.
I didn't think about it until I was coming here, for real, that it was a song that used to go, the roof is on fire. We don't need no water, let the motherfucker burn. He wanted to make a song called Put the Fire Out, and our dumb asses rapped that shit. So here we are doing a diss to some shit that we don't know nothing about, except for he wanted to do a song called Put the Fire Out.
Keith Harrison.
Yeah, Keith.
He wanted to be, he chose violence that day.
Yeah, he chose violence, man. You started the West Coast, East Coast war.
Right in the middle.
What's up, Uncle Keith?
So,
Legendary.
Legendary.
For sure. So at this point, what did you want to be after high school? Because a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, you got the teacher guidance counselor talking to you about, hey, are you thinking about college?
I didn't want to go to college. I never wanted to go to college. Mm-hmm. Because I didn't like school. I didn't like it for the simple fact they taught us the same shit every year. Every year, Christopher Columbus sailed the 7 seas. You black people were slaves. Yeah. You was freed by what's that motherfucker name? Lincoln or whoever it is. You was freed by Lincoln, and y'all never getting y'all reparate or whatever that word
reparation.
is. Yeah, reparation. Y'all never getting it. Yeah. They taught us that every year. I got tired of hearing it.
For sure.
I got tired of hearing it. So, like I said, I never wanted to go to college. By the time I graduated, well, I actually didn't graduate. I got my GED.
There we go.
Because I got kicked out of Dayton Christian, and I had to go to Trotwood. So that's how I started actually going to Trotwood. And they waited until my senior year and told me that a bunch of my credits from Dayton Christian didn't count. Because in the summertime, well, not summer, and when you went back to school in January at Dayton Christian, you only took 2 classes. And one of the classes had to be Bible.
Because there's year round, wasn't they?
No, it's just because they're a Christian school. They wanted you to know the Bible. So one of your classes had to be Bible. You could pick math, English, whatever, but the other class had to be Bible.
Wow.
So none of my credits were Bible counted. So they told me I would have to come to school for another whole year.
Yep.
And I would have to go to summer school for 2 years.
Oh, nah.
So basically I would have been graduating with my brother. I already had a child and another one on the way. So I politely, at the age of 18, I told my mom that I need to get a job. I'm signing myself out of school, but I am going to get my GED. And I promised that to my mom, and I did get my GED. Word. But I left school and got a job to take care of my kids.
Word.
But I always wanted to rap. Word. Doing all of that. Music has always been what I wanted to do.
So from that, what's your first big music push or your first, like entry into that?
Do music?
Well, no, of course, you know what I'm saying? Like, you all had the passion, even from the Dr. E's to this point. Yeah. What's the first steps towards that?
The year at the American Music Awards, I told this story before, and I know people that's hearing this are going to be like, man, you tell this shit all the time. But this is one of mine.
Legendary. It got to happen on here.
We were sitting at our home, and the year Michael Jackson moonwalked for the first time on American, after he performed with his family, and then he did Billie Jean, and he moonwalked across the floor, and everybody went bananas because they never seen it. Uncle Keith, if you've listening, please make sure I'm saying this right. Call me and let me know. But it was either before Michael Jackson or after Michael Jackson. My uncle and them performed.
Wow.
Right after that. when I seen Michael Jackson do that, and then I seen my uncle perform, I said, that's what I want to do. I said, that's what I want to do. I want to be a performer. I'm going to be on stage. I'm going to make music. I'm going to one day moonwalk across the floor. Even though I couldn't sing, I don't know how a rapper was going to moonwalk across the floor, but, you know, I was like, I'm going to do this.
Right. So, like, where'd you go next musically?
Well, you know, after I moved to Trotwood and I went to Dayton Christian, I met a young guy by the name of Eric Mummy. He's one of the most talented guys you ever want to meet. He taught himself how to play every instrument that he plays. He taught himself how to scratch on a regular record player with the volume. He taught himself how to scratch. So he also learned how to do recordings in his house by just looking at it, saying, okay, I need to do this. The first microphone we used was some headphones.
Okay, you're about to say, yeah, a speaker. Was the
We
first
took a
one
headphone and we rapped inside of it. So we recorded some songs together and everything.
Do you remember your first rap?
You know what? I don't. It's going to come to me, but I don't. I don't. We did a song called Whistle While You Work.
Yin Yang Twins, oh, y'all check.
Man, we did a song called Whistle While You Work, and what it was is that he took the sample from...
He was sampling already?
What was that? Was it Cinderella or the Seven Drawers? Whistle While You Work. Back in the days with mixers, there was this mixer that Grandmaster Flash had created that you didn't have to use the crossfader.
Okay.
All you had to do was use the knob. So you would push the knob in and use that as a crossfader. So he was transforming.
It was
no, you just like this.
Yeah.
So he was transforming with that.
Wow. So, what?
Yeah. While you work. Not twerk. I didn't use twerk because we didn't know nothing about twerking back then. But it was whistle while you work. And he took the and he scratched it.
Oh, that's hard.
I mean, man, the boy was bad, man.
That's hard.
The boy, he went on to actually do a show. Well, he won a contest that Sir Jinx hosted here in the city a long time ago. He actually won that, and he was supposed to go on tour with Ice Cube and Sir Jinx and stuff. I don't know what happened with that, but yeah, he won that event. Yeah, it was a really good time back then.
So you seeing that got you even more motivated to do music.
Right. I got more because we grew. You know what I mean? We grew. He was sampling stuff, man. He was taking old albums.
I love
sampling,
samples, bro.
That man, we did the Average White Band. We sampled that. Pick Up the Pieces. We sampled all of that, man. We literally did all of that. So, you know, that made me appreciate, even though I always listened to old music, it made me appreciate it a lot more because we was just bringing it back. We was bringing it back alive. That's basically what we was doing. We was bringing it back alive.
So, like, what one of your highlights on the music side, not on the management side yet? What's one of your highlights that like you hold dear to your heart of like your own highlight when it comes to music?
When I met Mo Beats.
Mo Beats, man. R.I.P. Mo, man.
R.I.P. Mo.
When I met Mo,
yeah.
One of my friends by the name of Kyle Ellis, K Money, introduced me to Mo, and Mo came over to my house.
At this point, Mo was already Mo.
No, he wasn't.
Okay.
Mo wasn't even Mo.
Oh, okay.
When I met Mo, he was wrestling.
Yeah,
in school. He was a wrestler. So that's where I met him. You know, I told Kyle one time we went up to the school when he went to Colonel White. He had came out from wrestling practice, and I said, "Man, that's a black Arnold Schwarzenegger, man." I was like, "Man," because he was buff. You know what I mean?
I saw him after the dreads.
Right. Oh, now this was before the dreads, everything. So I met him. He had did this song, that he wanted me to rap to, and me and him did the song together. We rapped on it, but I wasn't good enough to be in their group that they had, which consisted of DJ Prime out of Columbus and another gentleman by the name of Force, Artist Moore. They was in a group together called Mad Skills.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
my research.
I'm not gonna lie, man. They were lyrical. They were lyrical. I was more so. I was trying to find myself, so I kind of bit off of everybody. You know what I mean? I used to hold my breath when I rapped and try to sound like Scarface.
Right. I know what you mean by that. Yeah.
You know, be like 357 pointing at your dome, fool. And you know.
Yeah.
So one day I did that, and K Money hit me like, dude,
What you doing?
why are you trying to sound like Face? Why don't you just sound like yourself? And when I did that, when I just actually sounded like myself, I actually sounded like I was supposed to be recording. And I didn't realize that until I started using my own voice.
Is that when you understand how good management was? Because he gave you your first management tip right there. Yeah,
He did.
for sure. For sure. So, what's another good story about Mo? You know what I'm saying? He's a legend, first ballot Hall of Famer. Shit, he built the damn thing, right?
Man,
Give us another good Mo story.
another good Mo story. Man, there's so many of them, man. I mean, I remember when we went to Atlanta, we had just met this gentleman that wanted to manage me out of Atlanta. He passed away. Rest in peace to Jet.
R.I.P.
We went all the way to Atlanta. We drove there in like the dead of winter, like snow on the ground, everything.
Oh, man.
We drove there. We got there. We met this guy, and we went back the year later, and I think that was the first Freaknik I went to.
Freaknik.
And Mo got us a chance to perform at, it was a club that used to be right above, in the underground. It used to be a club that was above Hooters. And that was when girls that worked at Hooters.
Right.
And we did a show there. And then Mo got us a chance to do a show at Sandcastles.
Okay.
We did a show up at Sandcastles in Atlanta. So Mo was actually playing as manager for me, but he was also working with his group at the same time.
Wow.
So we also went to New York together, met an attorney by the name of Holden Thornhill. That was my first attorney, music attorney. And we got to go to Mercury Records. And we went into the room, and the guy name was Kenyatta. He was getting ready to leave. So our lawyer was like, hold on, let me let you listen to this song. So he put this song on. It was called Welcome to the Midwest. Prime produced it.
Prime.
You know, they loved it. They loved the song. But they wasn't looking for singles at the time. They were looking for artists to do as a full album. We wasn't really ready to do a full, I mean, we had a full album ready, but like I explained to them, and this is how I knew I was going to be more than just an artist. I said, I have album fillers, but I don't have too many singles. They wanted an album that had possible singles throughout the whole album.
Right.
So they was like, we're looking for somebody like a Redman or this and that. This is when Redman first came out.
Oh, yeah.
So it was this gentleman sitting on the side, right? Just watching us and everything. You know, so when they basically told us, you know, you're good, but you're not that good. So we got back home. About a month later, I'm watching BET's Rap City. This song comes on, this guy rapping and everything. I'm like, it's like a New York cat. I look at him. It was the dude sitting in the corner. His name was Gemini, the Gifted One.
Yeah.
Gemini.
Yeah.
His name was Gemini. He was sitting right there, and I didn't even know who he was. I didn't even introduce myself or anything, but he was sitting right there. So, you know, you never know who's in the room with you. So you got to know how to move in certain situations. You know what I mean? Because you never know. You know, I even met 8 Ball at when we went to Freaknik. And, you know, I was talking to 8 Ball. All I knew was this dude in a Cadillac with 20-inch rims and girls twerking on his car. So I rolled down the window. I'm laughing. He laughing. I'm like, man, you got him going. He like, man, I know. Big black dude, curly hair, gold teeth. I'm not thinking nothing of it. I come home. About 2-3 weeks later,
Right on the TV.
I see the video for Space Age Pimpin', and I'm like, I was just talking to this cat a couple of weeks ago. So you never know. You never know who you're talking to. The guy that did Pistol Grip Pump.
Yeah,
Volume
Pistol
10.
Grip Pump
Gauge.
on my lap at
Volume
all
10.
time.
We did a song with him. Not a song, I'm sorry. We did a show with him. And artists may remember this, but Mo got mad at me. At the end of the show, we did a show at Ivory Coast.
Ivory Coast.
And after the show, Volume 10 was going back to his hotel. Mind you, it's 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. He says, y'all need to come back to my hotel room so we can talk, because I want y'all to get with my record company so y'all can do the album. So Mo was like, yeah, man, we need to go. We need to go, Ron, let's go.
Uh-oh.
I said, the only thing open at 3 o'clock in the morning is some legs. I'm not going to this man's room. I'm not going.
Right.
So we didn't go. Artist called me the next day and was like, man, y'all should have went, man. I'm like, man, no. I didn't feel right. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. What is it that we can't talk about in the morning?
Right.
Why I got to do 2, 3 o'clock in the morning going to somebody's room? So we didn't do it. I don't think Volume 10 did another album. He did one song called Sunny Something that was on the soundtrack. And that was the last we heard of him. But I just didn't feel comfortable.
Hey, Streetlight, you want to know who put them out? Who actually put Volume 10 out?
Who?
Roger Troutman.
Really?
Ask Durrell. Or read Durrell's book. Roger Troutman and Terry Troutman helped produce them.
Wow. Pistol Grip Pump. And people
Pistol
still
Grip
sample that
Pump
to this
on
day.
my-
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you hear
Ask
it all
about
the
that.
time.
Ask
Limp
about
Bizkit
that.
redid the song.
Roger Troutman
Yeah.
and them
I didn't know he did.
brought them out. Yeah,
So-
he met them on the West Coast when they was always on the West.
So in hindsight, do you feel like you should have went?
Again, like I said, the only thing open at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to conduct a business meeting with nobody at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. Because why can't you wait until 8, 9 o'clock in the morning?
Barack Obama said he want to do something with you right now at
3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm not going to his room, bro.
It's a setup.
I'm not going, man. No.
It's like a setup.
I don't care, man.
Sound like
I'm
a
not
setup.
going, bro. Like, no. Maybe he do have the best intention.
Yeah, he
Maybe
like-
he really do want to
I'm
work.
flying out tomorrow.
Would you go to a room with Puffy at 3 o'clock in the
Oh,
morning?
come on now, hell nah, bro.
Okay,
You can have
then.
that.
I'm
You can have
just
that.
saying.
Have that. You can have that. And he did Puffy too.
Usher and them gonna be in there.
Huh?
Usher gonna be
Usher
there.
gonna be
Wow, I'm cool.
All
I'm
right.
cool.
gonna be there. Take that. Nah, man, I can't do it, man.
For sure. So, when did you transition from the music into the artist management side?
When I started realizing that, one, I had a gift to talk and negotiate with people.
Because number one, you already got rules in place. I'm not meeting you after.
Yeah, I'm not meeting you. No, not doing
You already
that.
set the guidelines.
I was on my
That's the first
I was
way-
on my big red back then. My business hours are from
Yeah.
9 to 5. You know what I mean? But I just one day just realized that I know what Dayton has. I knew what Dayton has. I know what they have now. We have a lot of potential.
Absolutely.
A lot of the music we hear from the West Coast to the East Coast to down south
To Nigeria.
They use us,
Ohio Funk.
Ohio Funk. And, I've always said, and this is one of my biggest things, music is going to take a 360 degrees turn. And when it takes that turn, it's coming right back here.
You gotta come home.
And when it comes home, I want to be a part of it. I want to be one of the reasonings that it came back home.
There we go.
So that's my biggest thing.
So, who was one of the first artists that you managed?
One of the first groups I managed was a group called Alleyways.
Alleyway.
Yes.
Who were some of
It
the
was
members?
an artist by the name of Hobo, who was lyric.
He had lyrics.
His lyrics are straight fire, bro. To this day, they're
Lyrical.
straight fire. He had a brother. We called him Red Eyes. And you already know why we called him Red Eyes. But he was more of the edgy one out of the group. But they had another individual with them that was very suave and his lyrics was up to par. It was incredible. His name was Endo. Rest in peace, Endo.
Endo.
R.I.P. Endo.
Yeah, Endo.
I remember
him. Endo was the first one that I met. So it was another gentleman that brought him to my house for me to meet him, because I had told him, because we worked together, me and this gentleman worked together, and I told him that, you know, I want to start working with artists, started my own record company. At the time it was called Infinite Records. I said, I'm starting my own company, I want to work with somebody. So he brought Endo over. So Endo was sitting there and we talked, and I just told him the honest to God truth. I'm always one of those people that's gonna be honest. I said, look, I'm broke.
Real shit. Let's start off from the
right.
start.
I'm just gonna be real with you. I said, bro, I'm broke. I said, you probably got more money in your pocket right now than what I got in my bank account. I said, but what I can do is I can get you with photographers, I can get you in a studio, and we can try to get something working. Endo looked at me and said, that's the realest shit I've ever heard. And that's when we all started working together.
Wow.
I didn't stop rapping.
Right. Okay.
Because I actually did record another song after that. And
Kind of hard not to, 'cause it's like, man,
Right.
you still got that love for
yeah,
it. and then-
Endo had told me something before he passed away. He said, you started something and don't even realize you started it. I said, what's that? He said, you was calling yourself Boss Hog before everybody else was calling themselves Boss Hog.
Wow.
And then I thought about it like I did, because I did a song with another gentleman that used to produce. His name was Andre. He passed away a couple of years ago. Rest in peace. He did a song for me that we used. I Feel Like Bustin' Loose. We used that sample.
I feel like
Bustin' loose. I feel like bustin' loose. To the bridge now. Done. I did a song with that. And what I did it in 3 persons. So I would rap one way, and then before the verse got finished, I would be coming in with my next verse. And then before that verse got done, I came in with the next one. So I did it in 3 parts, but it was just me. So I did that, and the
hell
song
of a
was
time
fun.
performing that.
Right.
Jesus.
It was. You should have seen us recording it, man. But I did it. And
Were y'all 8-tracking at that time, or how was y'all?
that song we did, me and Mo used to do 8-track.
Okay.
We used to do reel to reel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Me and Mo did reel to reel. So we was one of the first people that came into the ADATs.
Yeah. Oh,
and the
ADATs.
DAT tapes.
Yeah, DAT
we
tapes,
we,
yeah.
we
Yeah.
came into that. That was us.
Yeah.
That was us. Can't nobody take that from us. Reel to reel was James Brown, my Uncle Keith, all of them. We got that, but then we got into the ADATs and the DAT tapes. And then after that, now you got, everything's just online.
Yeah. I mean, you can
Everything
record
like
a phone. You can record on your phone. At this point.
Exactly. But I did that song in Springfield.
Okay.
At a gentleman's studio. He had a 24-track mixing board. So it was really interesting and really fun to do that. But yeah, Endo told me, he said, man, you started that. You started people calling themselves boss. He's like, you don't even realize that. You started that. He's like, you was a trendsetter before you even knew you was a trendsetter. So, it was a lot of things that I think about now that people told me that I'd be like, wow, I didn't even know I actually did that. I don't know if a lot of people actually really knew I did that. Now they do, but.
So, my first intro to Streetlight Entertainment was when I was an artist. You know what I mean? I used to go down to Santana's and stuff like that. And the first artist I saw that was with y'all was Jay Vez. Yeah. Shout out to my brother Jay Vez. And it's so dope that he came back home, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying, with the Love Locks project, man. Salute to my bro, man. Nothing but love and peace to you, bro, for sure. But during this time, I was with Swap ENT during this time, right? Okay. So it was Swap ENT, it was Streetlight Entertainment. There was other factions there too, but there also was Street Slang Entertainment, right? Okay. You know what Aaron talking about?
Yeah.
Was there any back and forth when it comes to them? Because they were trying to get all the artists. Like, they was on some, yeah, you working with them, but come do a song with us.
Remember when WROU, when they was in the building downtown?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
When they was in there,
Shout out to Miss Ian Malachi.
Jay Vez and them used to record in there with a gentleman by the name of Scotty. And it was another recording studio artist that was like on the same floor, right, like cornered from us. It really wasn't a beef, but
Competition was healthy.
competition
Yeah,
was, So it was fun. It was fun. It was fun. It was nobody got hurt.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Nobody got
whatever.
hurt. You know, that's the thing with our culture. What our music part of the culture. We like to battle.
Yeah.
You know, just to see who can be on top.
Yeah.
So that's all it was. It really wasn't no, you know, I'm gonna kick your ass. You know,
Right.
you know, you'd say that in a song.
Yeah.
but you ain't really trying to do that. Wasn't nobody
Right.
really trying to fight.
Right. So, like, what can you say about the Santana's era for the ones that are now? That you know what I'm saying? Because like I was talking to one of your artists earlier today. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? They got the New Heights Nutrition. Well, New Heights, and they have the Poetics of the world, and all these different places that weren't around when we was outside. Well, of course, you know Majestics and all that, right?
Right,
Like,
Majestic. Oh, yeah, Majestic.
yeah, for sure. So you know what I'm saying? Like my entry was like
Spunkies.
Spunkies for sure.
Real Spunkies.
say the real Spunkies.
Original.
Not the Spunkies in the early 2000s. I'm talking about when we were too young to go on Spunkies.
Yeah.
But as long as you dressed
Yeah.
accordingly,
You get it.
they would let you in.
For
They
sure.
wouldn't serve you a drink, but they'll let you come in there. And you come in there, dance, everything.
That's
why
like
I met Hurt
88.
at. That's why I met Hurt.
Like 88.
Yeah, 88. That's why I met Hurt. You know, I'm in there waving, you know, doing my thing, everything. Man, I like the way you move. Thanks, bro. You know, hey. That type of stuff, man. So,
For sure. So-
actually, I didn't go to Santana.
Oh, word.
I had kids. I had at the time 3.
Okay.
I was more so on my. I hate the word CEO, and I hate the word boss, but I was on my CEO thing.
I got to change this caption of the YouTube, and I got CEO.
I didn't like going to certain places because, again, certain places you don't need to be.
Right.
You know. Now I used to go down to
Coyotes, Jazz Central,
I went to Jazz Central a couple of times. The Foundry.
the Foundry.
Foundry.
I
Yeah.
used to go in the Foundry a lot, but when I went in the Foundry, security knew me.
Right.
The owner knew me, and at that time, Diamond Cut would always be in
D
there.
Cup for sure.
So
Shout
I
out to D
would
Cup.
literally, when I came with J Vez and all of them,
Mm-hmm.
we got in VIP. We didn't even have to pay. We just
Right.
went in, and that's when DJ Chaos.
Shout out to
Chaos.
DJ Chaos for
was still
sure.
DJing. So I would walk
DJ
in the
Divine
building,
now.
Right. So when I would walk in the
Yeah.
building, he'd be like Streetlight Entertainment in the building.
Yep.
So, you know, everybody
Yep.
knew us. So I'm
I
like,
was one of them
cool.
looking like.
Right. So
I want to be with you.
I was cool. I was cool because I knew where to go and where not to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, certain places I just wouldn't go.
Now, he was said to be a really, really good breakdancer. Are you familiar with DJ Divine? He used to be a breakdancer. Him,
Oh, yeah,
and
him and
DJ
Tommy.
Skano.
When he used
Him
to
and his dude,
DJ,
Tommy.
when he used to be in the group with the 2 white guys.
I forget.
Just Us, was that the name of the group?
Yeah, but it's Tommy. He was High Yellow. It was
Hold on,
both of
we
their
talking
name
about- we talking
Tommy.
about-
Yeah,
Yeah,
we thought the same
Chaos.
person,
Tommy
for
and
sure.
Tommy.
Yeah.
Tommy,
He used to get it in.
his partner was High Yellow. Tommy.
Yeah.
So was he better than you?
You know what?
Yeah.
Hell no. Nah, he was.
Nah, Tommy and them
cold
was-
with it. Yeah.
Now,
he was cold with it.
now, because look, you might get to put it together. Have you ever seen DJ Skano?
I heard he DJ. I mean, he used to break dance, but
Yeah.
I never seen him.
Oh man,
I seen him DJ. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I never seen him break dance.
man, because I want to settle that debate one day because I asked Skano. Skano said, "Man, he would bust his ass back in the day."
Tell him to do it now.
Oh,
Do it now.
I'm cutting that clip. I'm cutting that clip. Word.
But
So
yeah.
So what other artists did you manage in between that time of the Santana's era, and if I missed some that are notable before the
I
Santana's era?
did. I had J Vez. I had Blackout. I had an artist by the name of Casper.
Casper, yeah.
I had G18 was one of our producers. Who else? And Red Eyes. Red Eyes became a solo artist from Alleyways. So he was doing his thing.
Word.
So I had them at
Word.
that time.
So eventually, you know what I'm saying, you get to the Lamborghinis and all that type of era, right? So like how did that happen? Like where let's see, look
Man,
up
I ain't
a
gonna lie. I got tired of music. Remember in Carlito's Way when he got out of jail and he was like, "These young kids don't know me no more.
Exactly.
These young cats didn't know me because I had been out of it for so long. I literally didn't want to do it no more. I loved it, but I just didn't want to do it no more. I spent a lot of money. Oh, I had another artist before Flam. I had an artist by the name of Miss Polish.
Miss Polish, yeah, I know Miss Polish for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we did her single Chit Chat.
Yep. I did a couple songs with Miss Polish.
Okay,
yeah.
so we did that.
Shout out to Miss Polish for sure.
You know, like I said, I was done with music. I was working at this job, and this cat that worked with me was like, man, it's this dude, man, you need to listen to his music. He's like, man, he dope. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So this guy used to walk by me every day at work, like, what up, bro? They worked third shift. I worked first. Like, what up, bro? You know, we spoke.
Yeah.
You know, everybody speak, you know. So finally, dude was like, man, I'm going to give you his CD. Just listen to it, man. I'm like, man, all right. So he gave me the CD. So after he gave me the CD, I found out it was Flam.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, man. Yeah, I'll listen to your CD. I ain't even going to lie. I didn't listen to it for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I had it in my car. I would look over every morning and see it.
Right.
I'm like, okay, man, let me put this thing in.
This punchline Flam.
I put it in.
This punchline
He had a
Flam.
song. I'm not gonna say the name because if he was to bring that song out right now, it would kill anything out there.
I agree.
Literally.
Yeah.
Man, I put that song on. I literally called him because I got his number from dude. I called him and said, bro, copyright that song. If it's not copyright, if it is copyright, if it's not copyright, don't let nobody else hear it. Because, dude, this is your hit. And to this day, I would still tell him, don't get me wrong, Sports Center,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
fire.
All of it.
My wife's favorite song is the one we did at the
I like Never
One More.
Change.
One More.
Yeah,
My
One More.
wife loved
Yeah,
the
the
original
One More.
version of One More.
Yeah.
She loves it. That's like one of her go-to songs. She loves it. But
Flam got a nostalgic hit for me, and when I talked to him about it, like literally, like I talked to him about, he's like, I don't even remember what song that is. I'm like, bro, it's one of the hardest songs I ever heard. He's like, I don't remember
man,
it.
he got
for sure, bro.
He got good music, bro.
For sure.
Everything. I haven't heard really nothing I did not like.
For sure.
But this one particular song.
Exactly. Look, you sound just like me.
I'm telling you, man, this one particular
Everybody
song,
got one song from my Flam. Like, if they one song, he's like,
man, that one
he not
song,
Flam.
he bring it out to this day, bro. I'm telling you, you would think he just recorded it yesterday, and it just came out. It's fire. So, Flame, if you listening, we still need to get that song out.
And find out whatever old song that was back in high school that I'm talking about. So, like some of your other acts, right? Well, let's finish up with I'm sorry, a little bit of Flam is the book bag giveaways, man.
Yes.
Yeah. Why was that an integral part also of, you know what I'm saying? Like, doing music is one part, but to give back is another. Why was that a focal point for you and him?
Flam brung it to the table.
That's hard.
And he said he wanted to give back to the community. He wanted to do something to give to the kids. So he came up with bikes and backpacks.
That's hard.
We had a friend that we actually shot the video for One More at the bike park, Mike's Bike Park. That's why we called it Bikes and Backpacks, because we used to have the kids come in and they could ride for, I think it was half price that day. They could ride bikes all day. We would have food. Roosters used to give us food. And me and Flam would get donations. And then whatever we didn't have from donations, we put our own money into it. And we got the book bags. The first year, I think we did like, I want to say like 100, maybe 200. And it started getting to the point where we was running out of book bags before. The second time we did it, I was going to get the food from Roosters. So I got a call from the guy that owns Mike's Bike Park. And he was like, yo, where you at? I'm like, man, I'm around the corner, man. I'll be there in a minute. He was like, you got people around the corner waiting. I'm like, man, okay, whatever. I get there, man. It's a line around the corner, literally. So I call Flam like, hey, bro, you need to get up here, man. We got a lot of people. So when he got up there, we got everything together. Yeah, we ran out of book bags. Wow. And that was the first year Underground Kings Motorcycle Club donated, and they came. So kids got to talk to them. They actually mentored some kids.
That's hard.
You know, they still do stuff with us to this day because we couldn't do it for a couple of years because of COVID. We just got back into doing it. But that was something Flam really wanted to do, and he was really on it every year. Like, yo, we got to get these book bags. We got to get this. We got to get that. And he was with me going to get stuff that we needed for the book bags.
Yeah.
So, you know, the pencils, the paper. Yeah, me and him was at Walmart. You know, we was at Myers.
Right.
You know, we did that.
Right.
You know, so.
And the Lamborghini and Friends series, right? I was at the last one. I think I'd have been to 3 of them. But yeah, like the Lamborghini and Friends, man. To me, it was a real dope event. Shout out to my man Reese dude. Shout out to that the podcast was there too. Man, bro, like they were hilarious, man. Like for sure.
They was.
And I definitely linked with them, and I implore y'all to come on as well. But yeah, man, like it was a real dope event, man. I really enjoyed it. I mean, you know, he killing on the merch. Obviously, I'm wearing the hat. I could find another hat to wear today. You know what I mean? Not just playing. He know I got every flavor. But yeah, so walk us through the Lamborghini and Friends and how much y'all put into it, and the fact that like y'all still work with artists that's not even particularly on Streetlight, but still giving them a Streetlight to perform under. That's a bar.
Flam started that when we were doing shows at
Ladder
11. We was doing shows at Ladder 11. We had just got I don't really want to say a deal, but we got permission from Ladder to be there once a month.
That's hard.
So with us being there once a month, Flam would reach out to artists that he liked, or they were, you know, people that he worked with, and he set up and did shows. So I basically just put everything in motion after Flam said, okay, I want to do this, and this, and then I would just put it in motion and just let it run.
That's hard. So some of your other artists, Ebony Dominique.
Yes, truly Dominique.
Truly. Yeah. So I call her that because, you know, I went to school with her. She like little sister to me. Her and Pharaoh, like that's my bro. Like me and him are business partners. Okay. But yeah, so man, I'm so super proud because I didn't know she was on Street Light until I saw her perform at what was the spot that we were just at, the
Hidden Gem.
Hidden Gem. I was like, man, this is dope.
Ladies' Night.
Yep. Her, Samurai West.
Yes.
Samurai West
Samurai West is on the label.
And Samurai said, she told me a lot of great things about you. She said, Ron won't stop at nothing after people even bailed on him. And I was like, what do you mean by people bailed on you?
Wow. I'm going to put it to you like this. I've been doing this for a long time. I've seen people come. I've seen people go. People don't understand in this business, you're going to make money, you're going to lose money. You're not going to always be on top. No matter how you see these rappers or singers acting like they're always on top, you're never always on top. 1 minute it may be fast money coming in, next minute you may not have no money coming in. You just got to be able to juggle it. And if you are really, as they would say back in our day, if you're really about that life,
right, then
you'll understand it. Some people ain't about that life. You know what I mean? They want the fast, quick money. They want it right now.
Elevator up, elevator down, man. I like the stairs.
Yeah, I'm going to take the stairs all day long. You know what I mean? I like to walk so I know what's coming.
Exactly.
You know, you on the elevator, you don't know what's in between.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fire shit.
Right. You get up to the 12th floor, you're like, yes, I'm here. But you don't know that underneath you, there's a big ass inferno going on or some shit. So, you know, I'd like to, you know, like I said, I've been doing this for a long time. You know, I've had people, you know, say they're going to do something, don't do it at all. You know, I can be mad, but what is mad going to do for you? You know what I mean? You just learn from it. You learn and you move on and you never let it happen again.
Right. Ain't no L's, only lessons, man.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's what an L is, a lesson.
For sure.
That's all it is. It's the only time it's a loss.
You continue to
if you keep doing the same shit that you've been doing constantly, then it's a loss.
For sure. So
somebody have a question in the comment section. With you being a CEO,
I'm not a CEO.
Did you have to sign?
I'm not a CEO.
Well,
I'm a business owner.
Business owner and founder.
But with your groups, did you have to sign life insurance papers for them?
I have not. No, I have not.
Like
because
they doing these days.
Yeah,
like,
they do it, but you know
They
what?
like, thanks, Peanut, for bringing it up.
No, honestly, I haven't done it, and one reason why I haven't done it, I've invested money, but I haven't invested monies to the point where I feel that
You should-
if they were to, God forbid, pass away or something like that, that I need to keep that money coming in.
Yeah.
You know, my whole thing is with the music that we got out. God forbid if somebody was to pass away, and let's just say their music just take off.
No,
I can help take care of their family that was there. You know what I mean? I can say, okay, this is the percentage that they were supposed to get off of this. I'm not going to be one of them type of like, well, shit, they ain't here no more. I ain't.
Yeah, exactly.
No, hell no. If I signed a deal with somebody and I only supposed to get 15 and they
that's
supposed to
what
get
you
the
gonna
85, guess what? If they making a whole lot of money, I'm going to make sure that their family is getting that money.
Right.
So I'm not really too concerned about the insurance policies. Insurance policies is for really when a company has invested so much time, so much effort in you, where that if you were to pass away, they've taken a loss.
Yeah.
Then, you know.
Yeah, if I give you $1 million advance deal,
Exactly.
bruh,
I ain't gave nobody no money like that. I, ain't even gave nobody $10,000.
Yeah, I know what you
So
mean.
you know, I can't do that. So no, I have not did the deal with nobody in insurance policy because I haven't been able to give anybody any substantial amount of monies to do that.
I got to give you a point for that. They give him a point for that. That's one of the realest answers ever.
for sure, man. For
Thank
sure,
you, man. Thank
For
you,
sure,
man. I told you, man, I ain't gonna lie, man.
So I also want to talk about Jay Vaz, man, which he's what to me, right? I love Lamborghini when it comes to lyricism, when it comes to putting music together, when it comes to rapping, when it comes to just complete artistry, right? But when it comes to the like just being a full artist, I think Jay Vaz is Prince to me. Like where he started when he's I'm Eating down to Love Locks.
Right.
Name an artist with that bandwidth.
You can't. You can't.
Like a complete artist of our generation.
Man, I didn't see.
What
I
has
done
it been
seen
for you to
I
watch
done
him
seen
change?
The transformation.
Yeah.
You know, when he left Streetlight and went his way, you know, we would see each other in passing.
Was he Silk when you first met him?
Silk?
Yeah.
Satin, man.
Satin.
Sad.
I want
Same
to off.
thing,
Take this
almost.
buck ass point, man. Take this little buck ass point. Take a little
He was wrong.
Satin. Yeah. So
Yes.
Satin and then into the Jay Vaz era.
No.
Okay.
It was Satin at first.
Okay.
When we did the first album, the Midwest Takeover,
Okay.
on the back of the album, his name was Satin.
Okay.
For some reason, when we were out selling CDs to people, and we would go out, cause we used to sell CDs.
Yeah.
We
Exactly.
out the trunk.
Fuck that you was outside.
Out the trunk. We
You
was in the
outside.
Oregon district
Uh-huh.
on Friday, Saturday nights selling CDs for $10, and then we would go down to $5 because people didn't want to spend $10.
Haggling.
So we would go down to $5. But people used to pick up the album, the CD, and look at it and be like, "Oh no, we don't want this. His name is Satan."
Oh.
And we're like, "It's not
Say
Satan.
it.
It's Satan. It's not Satan." So we used to have to literally tell. And then we got people mad at us because if you ever get a hold of that copy of that album, Red Eyes was drinking a 40. And people were like, "You got this young kid drinking a 40. I'm like, "Man, this motherfucker is in his 20s. But, like, you know, people just looked at it like, you know, we was doing some illegal shit.
Devil worshiping.
Devil worshiping and drinking, and little kids drinking 40. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, nah, we ain't fucking with them. So, yeah.
Yeah. So he went from Satin to
Romir.
yep.
That's when we did his solo album. It was Romir. Underrated. I think that was the name of the album. My mistake, was called Underrated. Very good album. Matter of fact, on that CD,
His lyricism is underrated.
Oh, man.
Literally, man. He's one of the best, one of the best rappers that I've met.
if you ever get a hold of Romir's first album, listen to it all the way through on CD and keep letting it play. He has a hidden track on there. We was doing hidden tracks before people was doing hidden tracks.
That's hard.
Exactly.
He took the song that I had did a long time ago, that song Bustin' Loose. They took my vocals off of it, put it on there, and Romir rapped on it.
That's hard.
Killed it.
That's hard.
Killed it.
Yeah.
His first single we did for his album was called Get Up. The guy G18 was asleep. They was doing an all-nighter in the studio.
Listen, that is regular for him.
Yeah.
Regular.
They woke him up and said, man, you got to do this. He did the beat in like 10, 15 minutes.
So you get back to sleep.
And went back to sleep. And Javez, I keep calling him Javez, Romir did his verses like right then. I think it was like, if I'm not mistaken, it was like 2 takes.
Yeah.
And the song was called Get Up. And we used to try to get that played in the club. They played it a couple of times. People liked it and everything. But I wasn't, and I'm never going to be big on payola.
Yeah.
So I wasn't paying nobody to do it.
I
was like, if you like it, if you rock with us, play it.
Right.
No, I'm not giving you $50. No, I'm not giving you a bag of weed. No, I'm not
Gonna buy you a
holler
drink.
at that girl over there for you to get a blowjob. I'm not doing none of that. Not throwing nobody under the bus. But I'm just saying, I wasn't doing none of that. You know what I mean? I believe, and I still believe to this day, if you like a song and you have the platform to actually make that song blow, then let it blow.
For sure.
Because you're going to reap the benefits too.
Right.
So don't, look at it like, oh, you got to pay me to do this and that. Because I've been in the era of real payola.
For sure.
This new payola.
Wow, yeah.
No.
Right. So then I met him in the Javez era, right? Mm-hmm. So let me tell you what it looked like at Santana's, bro. So Santana used to have an open mic night, right? Now me, right? I'm one of them punchline rappers, like literally like Cassidy kind of flow, right? Okay. So I couldn't put together a song to save my life. But when it comes to ciphers and all that, I could not wait for this part. Mm-hmm. I go down there to Santana's, and then like before everybody start performing, they got a cipher going. And I'm just sitting back watching because my dude Fiend took me down there. And everybody going, I'm like, man, I can't wait to go. I'm about to murder this. You feel me? He go. And I'm like, man, who is this? Like, bro, like, so I'm like, I'm not going to rap this out. I'm about to go to the crib and rap. I had to go to the crib. And then when I went through there, you know what I'm saying? And feel me? I'm like trying to outdo him. He got so much love for what I'm doing, bro. He just embraced me like, bro, you nice. Before you know it, we doing songs together. And that normally wasn't what happened back then. Back then, it was all competition. It's like, I'm better than you, I'm better than you, I'm better than you. That's why to this day, I love him to death. Whatever he got, I support him to death. Like, he got me on my first Paid and Popular down there. Of course, Santana's one thing. Like, shout out to Esquire. Esquire do these things called Paid and Popular.
Esquire.
Yeah, so... Yes. It'd be open mics, and if you did well enough and you kind of got the crowd behind you, then they'll reward you with a Paid and Popular where you'll get paid to perform. Mm-hmm. So everybody was gunning for this. And me and Fiend kind of was still working on our single to get together. Man, I went to the studio with him to finally see his recording process. Not how I rap. Like I come with a whole bag full of raps, and I'm gonna get mine off. He in there, whatever, orchestrating, and I see him putting together like literally being a producer at this point. Because at that time, I wasn't producer. I rap. Like, I come in there to rap, and whatever hook gonna be, the hook gonna be. And he kind of put me in, like, you feel me, like the circle. And it was like, man, it was hard. And I got my first Paid and Popular. I still got the video. And it was like, he looked out for me. Because he could have saw me as a threat and was like, man, nah.
You know what? Javez has a big heart.
Huge.
He has a big heart. And, even though I'm older than him, I still go to him sometimes, and I'll run stuff by him.
That's hard.
And we literally talk like brothers. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Whatever differences we had in the past, when they was like, basically, I want to come back home, my door was open. Like, come on, bro. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's do this. And when we recorded that Honey and Stage.
Honey and Stage, one of the greatest
albums. We did the Honey side. Hey, man. I'm getting goosebumps right now just talking about it, man. The way that they did it was so beautiful. We booked for like 16 hours. 16. Everything. That whole album is live. Yeah. That whole album is live. It's not.
I got the double disc inside.
It's live.
Yeah, crazy. The vinyl zone.
We did that song. We did that album. I think it was under 10 hours.
That's amazing.
And they went straight in and played. It wasn't okay, now we're going to stop and do. No, when they started, it wasn't done until they ran through all the songs.
That's hard.
Man,
That's hard, bro. I'm telling you, man.
I love the album, man.
Yeah.
My favorite song. My favorite song is Nubian Butterfly.
Nubian Butterfly. I like that one.
There's a part on there that every time he says it, I look at my wife.
That's hard.
He says, I hate when you leave me, but I love when you walk away.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people be like, what the fuck? Nigga, you mad at your girl, but when she turn around and you
You
see
see
that
them
ass,
fans,
you like, oh my God,
Yeah.
yes, yes. But yeah, that's what,
For sure.
you know, I love the album. I listen to it all the time. All the time. I got it on 3 different playlists on Spotify. All the songs. So I listen to it all the time.
Yeah, for sure, man. Shout out to J Vans. Oh,
JV.
whatever you want to go by today, man. He got more names than Smith nowadays. Goddamn, let's
Yeah.
do
You
it.
know what Smith said?
His
I'm
mama
about
name is-
El
If you
Elyon.
say that name, he's suing you.
his mama name is Smith. I'm gonna call him
That nigga
Smith. His mama name is Smith. I'm gonna call him Smith.
Well, look, he can't be offended because I ain't talking about him.
There it is. There it is. There it is.
Gotta outsmart the smartest. So,
Valdez and Romero.
talk about the trip to New York, man, with the team.
We did a fashion show.
That's hard.
You know, it was a gentleman that reached out to me, and he asked us about performing at the fashion show. At first, he tried to get us to pay. And I was like, dude, I'm driving all the way to New York
All them toll booths.
to do a show that you're not paying me,
Right.
but I want my artists to get some exposure because nobody knows us in New York. I wanted, so we drove up there.
What was the trip like up there?
Man, you know what? When we got in the car and I started driving,
Who I was with you in this trip?
it was Samurai, Queen Amazon, and Jesus Christ, what is her name? Justina Clear. I'm sorry, Justina Clear. It was my 2 business partners, Razor and Bobby.
Bobby, yeah. I went to school with Bobby and Razor. I know Razor through I think he got a baby by like my sister.
Oh,
Like
okay.
that. But
So
but
we
it's like
rolled up
it ain't my real sister. It's like my
yeah. So we rode up there. You know, I drove majority of the way up. You know, because I'm one of the type of people. I love to drive, man. I love to drive. So we drove, but I know that Razor don't like driving at night, but he like driving during the day.
Okay.
He'll drive all day long.
Right.
But when it start getting dark, he don't want to drive. So I made sure I drove in the dark. So when we got to New York, guess who drove?
Razor. All that traffic.
All that traffic. I'm like, I'm good. I'm not driving. I'm good. So yeah, but the fashion show was cool. You know, I met a DJ up there, a young lady. She does a lot of reggaeton.
Okay.
I met her. The gentleman that hosted it, he was cool. The fashion show was different. I mean, it was
How so?
it was different because one, I never seen a fashion show where they just had the red carpet out and they just changed clothes real quick and came out and everything. I'm used to seeing what we see on television.
Right.
So actually being there and seeing it, and we took all our merchandise and only sold 1 hat. But because I sell DYT hats.
Right.
DYT in NYC.
They didn't know what it was.
It ain't gonna work.
Yeah,
You
they
know?
like-
But somebody was like, you know what, man, I want that hat. So I was like, that's what's up. You know, you bought a hat. I don't know if the man burnt it or whatever he did with it, but he paid me my $25.
Right.
So I was good.
Right.
But
But you know, after this point, it's up to you.
Right. But it was, it was totally different. Samurai did her thing. People really flocked to her. Queen Amazon did her thing. Justina did they did their thing. So people was really vibing with them. So it wasn't a waste of time at all. It was more so of, when he called back and was like, yo, y'all want to do this next one I'm having in August. I'm like, dude, you got to pay me.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know? And he didn't want to pay, so I wasn't going. Right. The first one, we all chipped in.
Yeah.
I told everybody, look, we going as a team, so we're gonna pay for this car, we're gonna pay for the gas. What we did, we just made a trip up and a trip back.
Right.
We got a room. They got a rooms in the Hilton where you can rent for like 4 hours. So we rented a room
Short stay.
so the girls could, shower,
Yeah.
get ready, and everything like that. So we rented that for a couple of hours. But as far as staying up, we went to Times Square, you know, because Justine and them had never been to Times Square. I had never been to Times Square. So everybody wanted to go to Times Square. So they went to Times Square, and then we just came back. We came back. You know, he even wanted us to come up there for the, he was having a gospel fashion show. But again, I told him, you got to pay me, bro. I'm not.
Right.
I did that one time for you,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to keep coming up there for free.
He thought the Lord was gonna pay the tab on that
Right,
one.
the Lord got you. Lord gonna fly you up here. Like, man, you got me bent. But yeah.
And speaking of being blessed, man, I you know what I'm saying, I did my research, man, in the West 2nd 130 skyscraper downtown, man. Like, what was that like to, you know, from your early humble beginnings and envisioning what it could be to finally having, you know what I'm saying, a office building downtown for music?
I used to be downtown. I used to be in the Century City building.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I love downtown. You know, that's, you know, being downtown, you meet a lot of people that you would never, ever met in your life.
Yep.
One day, my wife came down and
That
had
is
lunch
so
with
true.
me. You know, the little hot dog stand guy. They used to be in front of the Federal
building.
building.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I used to eat there all the time, eat his turkey hot dogs and everything. So my wife came down one day. So my wife, we were standing there about to get something to eat. I'm one of those people, I crack jokes with everybody. I don't care who you are, I'm cracking a joke with you. So me and this man is, you know, carrying on, cracking jokes. This gentleman walks up, right? I see his jacket. It's for the Schuster Center. So I'm like, I'm about to find out who this man is. Right. So, you know, I start talking to him, making jokes. You know, he gets that little So I said,
Negro friend.
right, black guy talking to me. But anyway, I said, how you doing, man? My name is Ronald Blake. I'm Streetlight Entertainment. I'm right there in the 130 building. Damn, I forget his name that fast. But anyway.
The Schuster, bro.
It was the CEO of the Schuster Center.
Wow.
You never know who you're going to be in contact
So
with.
me and this gentleman talk, right? So he says, I would like to, you know, sit down, maybe talk to you or have one of my associates talk to you. So I'm thinking like, okay, man, yeah, okay. So I give him my card. I go back upstairs. After when he leaves, my wife says, see, you never know who you're going to run into. I was like, yeah, I know. So we go back upstairs. I look on the computer. Sure enough, it's him. I'm like, damn, this is the CEO. So I send him a connection on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So
LinkedIn.
he accepted it. So I'm like, hey man, it was nice meeting you. You know, thanks for talking to me. Blah 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 blah. He had one of his associates call me and take me out to lunch. So I'm sitting there with a higher up with the Schuster Center that's breaking down to me how I can rent the Schuster Center, what I need to do to rent the Schuster Center. Now, if I wouldn't have never been in that predicament, I wouldn't have never known how to get inside the Schuster Center. I met the gentleman, the CEO of that place. You know what I mean? That was a good thing. So
Just being downtown.
Yeah, just being downtown. So with that being said, I love being downtown. I love it.
For sure.
You know, because like I said, you never know who you're gonna run into.
Sure, man. So let's talk about your Nigerian connect with my man Signature Vibe.
Signature Vibe.
For sure, man.
Hey man.
Shout out to Samurai for sure.
Samurai called me one day and was like, hey Ron. Well, she always called me boss. Hey boss, how you doing? What's going on, boss? And I'm like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Grand Risings, boss. And I'm like, I don't like boss, but okay. But anyway, she was like, I got this friend that wants to bring out some music. He's from Ghana, and I want you to talk to him. So I'm like, from Ghana? I'm like, all right. So she gets me on the phone with him. This is the first connection in Ghana that I had that I could actually understand somebody. Because I talked to some people in Ghana before, and the phones was breaking up, and they still do that.
Yeah, for sure.
But me and this gentleman talk on the phone. We get a, little connect. We talk for like an hour.
You was like, boy, you got some good internet connection.
Man, he got good ones. And then we even FaceTime and talk, right?
Yeah.
I got to tell you a funny story about that too.
Yeah.
But he sent me his first song that he did. Hey, man, he made the beat. He mixed, mastered it. And he had one of his friends shoot the video. It was called My Day. Matter of fact, his birthday coming up. He did the song for his birthday.
That's hard.
Hey, man, I was blown away, bro. I was blown away. He has we've brung out 4 songs, 5 now, because he just did a song with Shot Fire called Life. That boy's very talented. I want to get him over here. I really do. So I'm working on that to bring him over, because I think if we are closer together, we can make a lot more things happen.
Absolutely.
So, and I'm telling you, man, when he get over here, anybody that want to work, you better call us when he get here, because that boy, he already said, I'm going to be locked in the studio.
For sure.
You know, he's a good one. He's a good one.
So, man, what is next for Streetlight Entertainment?
Streetlight.
Streetlight.
I'm not in the
Light.
light.
That's 3 points.
Yeah, man, come on, man.
Streetlight
what's
is
next for you?
trying to break into different things. As far as, we got the film company coming here. I didn't personally, but Flam and Justina have songs in a movie that was recorded here called Straight Jacket. They got his song Dumbass is in it. Dumbass was a hot ass song. His song Dumbass is in it. Justina's song she did with Flam. Flam did the remix called Girl and Mary Jane. No. Yeah, Girl and Mary Jane, or I forget, but yeah, she did that song, Mary Jane. And the guy was like, yo, I'm gonna let you watch the movie. It doesn't have any music to it yet, but let me know what songs you think could be on there. Tino gave us that hookup.
Tino.
From down with K Carter. Tino.
Oh, yeah.
Tino gave us that.
Shout out to K Carter for sure.
Yeah, K Carter, what up? I've been knowing him since he was a baby. But anyway, Tino hooked us up with the gentleman, and I watched the movie, right? So I'm like, okay, Dumbass would be good in this movie, because they wanted music played during the time that the guy was getting ready to smoke and shoot up. So I was like, Dumbass would be a perfect song, because you're a dumbass if you're doing this shit. So we used that, but they had a scene where they was driving down the street, and this guy was taking a girl to go get a fix. I said, this would be the perfect spot to put Justina's song. So the guy at first was like, nah, I think I want to put something else there. I'm like, dude, just listen to the song. I said, put it on while you're watching this
scene.
He called me back 2 days later like, hey, man, I had to put it in there. He's like, no other song fit but that. So we put that in there.
That's hard, man.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get into doing movies. Oh, they are doing a documentary here. The same guy that just shot the movie. And he followed me around. I don't know if you've seen what I've been posting lately. A bunch of pictures with quotes and stuff.
Yeah.
All those pictures are from him. So I didn't even know half those pictures. Man, I still got like 30 pictures that I didn't even know they took of me. That I was just doing different things. Thank God I wasn't doing nothing like digging in my nose or nothing.
I'm like,
that.
boy,
Man,
you got the feds on you.
Man,
right
they
now,
literally
boy.
just took pictures, and I'm like,
picture
wow.
of us sitting there like,
right, like bow, and then they send it to you. You're like,
where is he at?
where the hell did this happen at? But okay, but yeah, the picture I posted today, I didn't even know they took. I was talking to another gentleman that is a manager, and I was talking to him, and I didn't even know they took that picture. So I was like, wow, this is dope. I got to put a quote to this.
Right.
So we put a quote to it. But they did the documentary that I'm a part of. We're going to have songs in the documentary. So I'm trying to get my feet wet in that, because I would love to do songs in movies. I would love to do that. I think that would be something that all the artists I work with, they have good songs. All their songs are good enough to put in the movies and on soundtracks and everything.
Especially previous catalog kind of stuff. Flam.
Right.
For sure, man. So here on the Legendary People podcast, there's a thing called the Butterfly Effect. Either something you said in the course of the interview or something I found in the course of my research that I found to be truly profound and amazing, man. Okay. Like me, man, I like to draw parallels, man. And then like when I go back to, your younger beginnings of, of course, the Streetlight, being the focal point of, it's something like we all kind of went through. Like I was in Westwood and mom would be like, you better have your ass out for them street lights come on. You know what I mean? But like the fact like that was actually like a a safety mechanism for y'all because y'all had that menace running around. You know what I mean? But the fact is, you've incorporated that to what the rap game is. You know what I'm saying? Like Flam got a whole movement called F the Rap Game, right? Because there is predators in the rap game.
Yes, it is.
But they're safe with you.
Exactly.
See what I'm saying? So you provided that because you grew up like that where there was predators out there in your neighborhood. There's predators in the rap game. You are now that person that's, hey, I'll make sure everybody's straight.
Everybody gonna, if I'm gonna eat, everybody else gonna eat.
Exactly. So, and then also I want to say is, I'm saying, like, what you doing and just taking a chance on an artist that's way in Nigeria. And, you know what I'm saying? I got a chance to do a little bit of research on him, and he's branching off, and he had 16 people on the same card. And I'm like, that's dope because the way you empowering him, you empowering Africa. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Those type of things right there are just king stuff.
And you notice we send him some merchandise.
Yeah. I see what the DYT had on.
All the time. And I'm like, dude, all the way in Ghana, he's representing Dayton. And I love that. Man.
For sure.
Him and his brother.
For sure.
I love that, man. I love that. For sure.
And also it's a key part for me is like, you know, when I was doing music, it was that you know, us versus them mentality. But I like to see that now, you know what I'm saying? Like when you go to Don Raise the Bar, they're resharing y'all stuff. You go to y'all resharing theirs. It's like we finally are getting to that point.
We're getting back.
Yeah.
We're getting back. It's been gone for a long time.
Yeah. And within that is going to be the key. That's going to be the breakthrough. That is, y'all got the winning sauce to me because as long as you're going to continue to be like, you know what, I'm supporting y'all and feel me, and that support going both ways. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be legendary. And then also, I mean, like, even through all of that, man, the thing that I find to be most legendary is like, you know what I'm saying? Even that Santana era, I mean, when it comes to your dad, your kids, your grandkids, you always put your family first, man. And I think that's the hard thing ever.
Grandkids, man. I haven't even mentioned my grandkids.
Do homework.
For sure.
You really did your homework, man.
I appreciate that, man. But, man, no more than I appreciate you, man, for real, man. I really appreciate what you got going on. And look, hey, Samurai, you live.
What's good?
Hey, what you want to say to him live during his legendary People podcast interview? What you want to say to him?
Man, Ronald Blake, I'm just so proud of you. And you know what? I'm calling to see if you guys are still doing it because I can't find the link.
Well, look, you don't call for that. You call to get some love, all right? You ask for the link afterwards, okay? Take a point away from Samurai, y'all.
Take a point. Samurai.
Nah, what do you want to say to him, though?
To Ron?
Yeah.
I'm just so grateful for everything that Ron has been doing adamantly for every single one of us and just staying diligent with the vision that he has. And like I said, ain't nothing going to stop Ronald Blake. Ain't nothing going to stop Ronald Blake. So I'm just so proud. I'm just so proud of you, Ron.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
For sure. Thank you, Samurai. And I will inbox you the link.
They be to go back and watch them on all platforms.
For sure. All right, man. Also, I wanted to read one last thing before we leave out of here.
And I wanted to talk about real quick some
things
that we got going on, but go ahead.
Yeah. So, Signature Vibes posted this July 23rd, the day before my birthday. He said, "It's a blessing to have people who believe in your dream, who sees beyond the past and present. Now I believe in miracles, and it began the day Samurai West introduced me to Ronald Blake. Little did I know that history was in the making already. I'm already grateful for having Streetlight Entertainment Group as my backbone. In an era where abuse of talent, exploitation, extortion is the order of talent, the orders of the day of managers, distributors, labels, publishers, etc. in the music business. Streetlight Entertainment has remained resilient and making a difference. As vulnerable as I could be, I got nothing, only a fair deal, but also a family of my own in less than a year. We've built a strong bond and relationship I couldn't have dreamt of. Watch this space for last half of this year. Be assured that more is coming, man." Salute to you.
That's
man.
hard.
For sure.
Signature, man. That's my dude, man.
Shout out to Signature, man. And also, bro, you had a couple typos in there. You know what I'm saying? Don't blame it on me.
Nah, but I got a couple of things I wanted to shout out.
For sure.
First of all, this Saturday, if everybody gets a chance, Saxtone's having a
Shout out to Saxton.
release,
Saturday.
EP release cocktail party at Table 33. They have an event space called Lola. We're going to be doing an event there this Saturday from 6 to 10 with DJ Ron Perry on the ones and twos. That boy's bad. That boy's bad, man. I rock with him big time.
Sure.
So if you get a chance, come out there and check that out. As you know, Flam's about to drop a new album on Black Friday called Mode. Make sure y'all go out and cop that. Jay-Vez and the Love Locks Experiment. They have the Honey and Sage album. If y'all can download that, download it, listen to it. I guarantee you're going to love it. They're working on new music that'll be coming out at the top of the year.
Trying to help you out.
Right.
I know.
Then, we got Sax Tones, Praise Is What I Do album. Fire. It's all gospel, but it's banging. Samurai West is working on new music right now. Truly Dominique is working on new music. Oh my God.
Shout to Sus.
I ain't even gonna tell you. All I'm gonna say is banging.
Right.
I also have an artist that I'm working with by the name of Tori Adams.
Okay.
She is very, very talented. She does a little bit of everything. If you hear her, you'll fall in love with her. Seriously. As you know, we got Signature. We got Shot Father Don with her new single Life with Signature on it. I got SSL King out of Springfield. We're working on his new single that's getting ready to come out. I got Queen Amazon working on music. And I have a photographer that I'm working with by the name of Amanda Barbosa. Okay. One of the best photographers you will ever want to meet.
For sure, man.
So I have a plethora of artists. So if you need anything, we got a little bit of everything for you.
Man, the next thing we need to do is a Lamborghini and friends. They all come here and we just do one big old show with all the new people.
Man, do them all, man. Do them all, man. I mean, we just
try.
Hey, let's do it.
Yeah, for sure.
I ain't got no problem with it, man. Let's set it up.
For sure, man. The door's wide open, man.
Cool. I appreciate that.
For sure, man. I appreciate you coming on Legendary People podcast, man. For sure,
Thank
man.
you for having me, man. I feel privileged. You know, I told my mom when I talked to her this afternoon.
Shout out to mom.
I told her I was nervous. She said, why? I said, I don't like talking. She's like, you're going to do just fine. I'm like, Mama. She's like, boy, you're going to do just fine. And, I've been knowing you. I've been knowing this man since
second grade,
first grade. So it's like, it's family. So I felt real comfortable.
For sure, man.
Shout out to my grandkids. All 6 of them.
I got 7.
To all my kids. To my beautiful wife. I'd like to say hi.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I shout everybody out. To my moms, my mother-in-law, my brothers, my cousins, my aunts, everybody. If y'all listening, thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for watching. I appreciate everybody.
And we tagged you, and they could go back to your page and watch it.
And where can they get in contact with you if they need artist management?
Right now, I'm only giving advice. I'm not trying to sign no more artists.
Consultation.
Consultation. Oh, believe me, it's I'm charging.
It's the difference between advice and consultation. I know that personally.
Say the game is to be sold, not told. So if you want help with something, I can help you, but it's gonna cost you.
For sure.
And I'm definitely willing to help.
And how can they contact you?
Area code 937-404-3004, extension 0. That's Streetlight Entertainment's phone number.
That's hard, man. Make sure you guys head over to the YouTube channel, man. You guys like, share, and subscribe. I'm Beanut, the CEO of Dash Resource, man. We got Sell Stocks Not Dope every Sunday, 8 o'clock p.m. I ain't there late, bro. I'm there every time, man. I'll be late sometimes. It's all good. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Also, the Legendary People podcast, man. Legendary People, Legendary Stories, man. You already know the motherfucking pods, man. It's lit.